So right now the conversation keeps hovering around what seems to be the latest trend, which is manifestation and the so-called law of attraction. So let me see if we can unravel both these ideas, the law of attraction and manifestation. So going back to fundamental reality, as understood in Advaita Vedānta and classic yogic philosophy, Vṛttis, which are the various modifications of the mind, are the fluctuations of consciousness. These include not only sensory perceptions and emotions, but also intentions and beliefs. Intention is a mental movement towards a goal or an outcome. In Vedantic terms, this is a vritti, fluctuation, subtle fluctuation, sometimes called sankalpa, a specific modification of the mind that arises from desire, will, or purpose. The mind forms an intention as a subtle thought wave, which then motivates action or further thought. Belief is a settled conviction or acceptance of something as true. This too is a vritti, as it is a mental construct or pattern that shapes perception and behavior. Beliefs are formed from repeated thoughts, experiences, impressions, also called sanskaras, and they color how reality is interpreted. So all such mental activities, intentions, beliefs, doubts, desires, and so on, are classified as vṛttis because they are temporary changing forms within the mind observed by the unchanging consciousness. And so manifestation is a combination of vṛttis. Whatever is manifested, whether an action or experience or an object of perception, is the result of vṛttis. The mind takes the shape of what it perceives. For example, when you see any object, let's say you see a hand, okay, or a ring, then the mind forms a hand vritti or a ring vritti, or whatever the object is. You can experience it in the mind, a modification that allows you to recognize and interact with the object, which is also an experience. This process is not limited to physical objects, which are also, by the way, entangled experiences, but extends to internal experiences like intentions and beliefs. So manifested reality is not the result of a single vritti, but a combination of many vṛttis: sensory, emotional, conceptual, intentional, and so on. These vṛttis interact and combine, creating the rich tapestry of experience and manifestation that we call the world, but also our body, which is part of the world. And there's a role of sanskaras. Latent impressions, sanskaras from past experiences, give rise to vṛttis, which in turn manifest as thoughts, intentions, beliefs, and actions. The interplay of these vṛttis shapes both our subjective experience and the objective world we perceive. Okay, so let's summarize. Intention, a vritti arising as a will or purpose in the mind. Belief, a vritti formed by repeated thought or conviction. Sanskara, latent impression that gives rise to the vṛttis. So where does this leave us? This leaves us with the fact that belief and intention influence perception of reality, which is a combination of vṛttis, and beliefs are the filter. They are persistent vṛttis that act as filters for experience. They determine what is noticed, how it is interpreted, and what is ignored. For instance, a belief in one's own inadequacy will lead the mind to focus on failures and overlook successes, thus reinforcing the original belief. Perception is rarely the result of a single vritti. Instead, it is a complex interplay of multiple vrittis, intentions, beliefs, memories, emotions that combine to create a unique subjective experience of reality. So, if this is all reasonable, then the summary would be intention and belief as vrittis are powerful forces that shape, filter our perception of reality. Recognizing their influence is central to both yogic and non-dual traditions, offering a path toward greater clarity, freedom, and realization. So how does this help realization and freedom? It does so in the fact that everything that is manifestation is also a combination of vrittis. Your body is a combination of vrittis, and the mind is a combination of vrittis, and all of this is entangled in the field of pure potentiality or consciousness, which is our true identity. So manifestations brings clarity to the fact that the power of manifestation is within you. Your beliefs and intentions and memories and past experiences also shape how the manifestation will occur, but the manifestation is also temporary, just like everything else is. It's time bound, and no matter how powerful you become at manifestation, you're creating the miracle of manifestation in a virtual reality. So you're upgrading the illusion. And there comes a point when you realize that no illusion will ultimately satisfy you, and no manifestation. What will satisfy you is the knowing that you are the source of all manifestation, including the manifestation of mind, body, and universe. Knowing yourself as that source loosens the hold to grasping, clinging, and brings clarity to our identity as the true self, the self of the individual and the self of the universe. That's the real meaning. Tattvamasi.